I really wanted to save this subject for a time later on down the road, but since I had so many people repeating the same joke of what happened to the gamer from Mars, I decided to make the video myself before somebody else did. I don't think many people realize just how long I've been running this channel, so I thought it would be fun to go over how the gamer from Mars went from this.
Hey, I'm the Gamer from Mars, and today I will review Aqua Adventures for the Atari 2600.
To what you're seeing right now. So let's talk about what happened to the Gamer from Mars, and why is my name the Gamer from Mars even though I don't talk about games. Well, let's start off at the beginning of 2009. I was young and at the time really into retro video games, and it was a great time to be in the hobby since there was a boom in people discussing old and new games on YouTube. You must realize that these were the early days of the website, where there were star ratings and people had video responses. People look back and claim that these were the good old days of YouTube content, but they really weren't. Most people recorded their TV screen with a camera for the reviews, and others just rambled on in front of their webcam and clicked upload. Other than a few people, including the angry video game nerd, there was what seemed to be a limited amount of people actually putting effort into their channels, and I wanted in. So I bought myself a Dazzle capture card device with money from my savings and started the Gamer from Mars. At the beginning, I didn't know the first thing about video editing, script writing, or filmmaking in general, but that didn't stop me. Instead of rambling on in front of a camera, I actually tried my best to write scripts explaining my thoughts on the games I was reviewing, even if they weren't the best at the time. I would also get my video from a capture card device rather than filming my TV screen with a camera, and I would spend time editing it all together. Looking back at my early content, I'm still pretty proud of it. Although it's very rough around the edges and it's clear that an unexperienced person was making them, I did try my best and continued to learn from my mistakes. Right from the beginning, I understood some basic principles, including that you should write a script for your work and put some editing into it so it's entertaining to watch. I still watch channels like Film Riot to learn new effects and techniques for filmmaking, channels that I was watching all the way back when I started so many years ago. Back in the early days, I also created a side character because I thought that's what people did, and his name was The Gamer from Jupiter.
Who is it? Who's there? Who the heck are you?
I'm the Gamer from Jupiter.
What are you, some crappy ripoff of me?
No, I just want to do a game review.
What review?
Super Mario Sunshine.
Okay, let's review it.
Even to this very day, I still get the occasional message asking what happened to him, but unfortunately a few years ago he had died in a car accident.
Yeah, so as you can see, I'm very much still alive. To address the rumor that the Gamer from Mars has been saying that I died in a car crash. Obviously that's false to the Gamer from Mars. Why do you keep telling people that? Obviously it's a lie.
Anyway, moving on to the 2-year mark, I had not really passed anything more than 500 subscribers. In those 24 months, I learned a lot about creating content and editing videos, but I still didn't get my big break on YouTube. But that was about to change. In 2011, I stumbled upon an interesting topic that hadn't been discussed much on YouTube, which was Lavender Town from the first generation Pokemon games. There was a lot of interesting topics surrounding this area, so I made the Lavender Town theory, which was my first big break. I had taken everything I learned in those first 2 years of making videos and put it into this one big project, and it paid off since it got a lot of praise. The few subscribers I did have at the time all said it was great, so I decided to post it on Reddit. I went to bed and the next morning I gained 50 subscribers, which made me really excited. At the time, you have to understand I was only getting about 1 subscriber a day, so I wake up one morning and I have 50? That was mind-blowing. After Lavender Town being a hit, I started to make all my videos in that sort of format and it really paid off. My channel started to actually make money for the first time. It wasn't a crazy amount, but it paid the bills a teenager usually has. To put it into perspective, in my first 2 years on YouTube, I only had 500 followers, but then in my second 2 years of YouTube, I got up to 50,000. In 2012, 13, and 14, my subscriber count continued to grow, and I was making decent money off my channel. But the thing is, and I've never actually admitted this until right now, is that I started to outgrow video games during this time. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy discussing Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda, but those days of me being absolutely obsessed with video games were gone. At this point, instead of enjoying the video games themselves, I had much more interest in running the YouTube channel and internet culture in general. Around the end of 2014, something really bad happened though, that would change my channel forever. Nintendo started to copyright claim YouTubers without taking into consideration if they fell under fair use. This of course presented a big problem for many channels like mine, who talked about Nintendo games. Other channels in my position just complained a little bit but continued to cover Nintendo games. That was really not an option for me though. At this point, as I said, I kinda grew out of covering the Nintendo games anyway and was looking for a way out. This is when I came up with the idea of my list of the top 10 4chan pranks. Just like the Lavender Town theory from a few years prior, this video gained a huge response from my audience, and I gained a lot of subscribers off it. This I saw as a great opportunity, and over the next 6 months, I transitioned away from gaming and into internet culture content. This new boost in views and subscribers gave me the opportunity to pursue YouTube full time, and I was thrilled. But at the same time, a lot of my subscribers were mad about the changes on my channel since I wasn't covering video games anymore. They started accusing me of being a sellout and threw every single insult in the book at me. I understand why people were mad at me, but at the same time, it was 100% the absolute correct decision to make for my channel. I also think there's a great moral to my story, which is that sometimes you can make a positive out of a negative. In my case, I thought it was a negative that Nintendo started to claim all my Nintendo videos, but it also gave me the opportunity to change the content on my channel, and because of Nintendo claiming my old videos, I was able to make these new videos which allowed me to do this full time. It's crazy how sometimes things work out that way. In conclusion, to the literal thousands of people that have left comments asking why my name is The Gamer from Mars even though I don't talk about games, I hope this video answered your question.
It's the Gamer from Jupiter here. If you don't know who that is, probably shouldn't be watching, and if you do, you're probably a little old. For those of you who don't know, I used to work for the Gamer from Mars for a bit. I was featured in a couple videos. Super Mario Sunshine was the first video. I was in the review for that. The Water Warfare review, and the top 10 things to do with your old Pokemon cards. I also played and helped run for a bit the Gamer from Mars Minecraft server. Obviously, because of this Minecraft, you can probably tell it's a little bit ago. For those of you who don't believe me that I actually am the Gamer from Jupiter, I don't blame you. I think the last video I was physically seen in was June of 2011. So right now it is September of 2017. So it has been quite a bit since then. But I am in fact here and live. The Gamer from Mars was dispelling some rumors that I died in a car crash. That absolutely did not happen. I'm very much here in the flesh. I don't know why he says that. I think it's probably like a jealousy thing. Honestly, he probably thought my following would outpace his, so wanted to tell everyone I was dead. Kind of killed that. But no, yeah, I'm still here. I don't do any YouTube anymore, unfortunately, or fortunately, honestly, for me. I still watch YouTube occasionally. I am still a subscriber of Gamer from Mars, believe it or not. But typically, not very much on YouTube. As far as video games, obviously, me being a teenager in college, I still very much play video games. Counter-Strike is probably my favorite game. I play it a lot. I have like over 1,100 hours in Counter-Strike. So, yeah, I mean, very much I'm still around. For those of you who just didn't know what happened to me, or have seen my name being tossed around but had no idea who I was, here I am. It's kind of funny that people still ask about me, because I was just always kind of like, I felt a very minor side character to everything Gamer from Mars. I think I only was featured in 3 videos out of however many Gamer from Mars has now. Obviously, all of his stuff now isn't even video game related. It's all internet stuff, which isn't bad. You know, that's the direction he wants to take his channel, and power to him. Yeah, but for those of you wondering where I am and what happened to me, very much alive, did not die in a car crash, at least yet, but who knows what the future might hold.
What goes